Good afternoon, and welcome to Pittsburgh City Council's hearing for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024, relative to Bill 2023, 2020-30, and Bill 2024-0051. I'm Bobby Wilson. I am councilman for District 1, and will the clerk please read the bills?
Bill 2023-2230, resolution providing for the designation as an historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as B'nai Israel Synagogue, located at 327 North Negley Avenue in Garfield in the 11th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. The owner of the property supports the nomination and there is no cost to the city. And Bill 2024-0051, resolution providing for the designation as an historic site under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain site known as Frick Park, located at 2005 Beechwood Boulevard in the Swiss Helm Park, Squirrel Hill South, Regent Square, Point Breeze neighborhoods in the 14th Ward, City of Pittsburgh. The owner of the property supports the nomination and there is no cost to the city.
Thank you. And for the record, we are joined by Councilperson Warwick. And if other members join periodically, I will mention their name. So our first order of business will be an introduction. Do we have an introduction for this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whoever would like to do the introduction, please come forward. Thank you for being here, and if you could state your name and title for the record.
Yeah, my name's Sarah Quinn. I'm the preservation planner for the city of Pittsburgh, and I'm here to provide a brief synopsis of both nominations for you, for everyone.
Great. Do you need
public?
connected to the do you have a presentation or anything?
I do actually. One of the members of the public, the last time I was here, suggested it would be great if I had some slides for folks in the audience to see what we were talking about. So I went ahead and pulled together a presentation. The gentleman in the corner helped me out with that. So we should be good to go if I don't mess it up. Let's see, which one would you which would you like me to discuss first?
Let's just go in order. So first we have, or at least what I'm looking at, I have the Frick Park first and then the synagogue.
Okay, great. Let me see. View. I think that's right. Okay. So Frick Park is located in within 4 different neighborhoods in the city of Pittsburgh. Excuse me. Like I said, if I don't mess it up, it'll be good. So here's a aerial photograph of Frick Park. The area included in the nomination is that which is north of 376. There may be additional parcels included at a future date. Right now, this is what we have is 376. The park includes 644 acres. It's roughly 5 miles from downtown, and it is adjacent to the Homewood Cemetery, which you can see in the photograph is up here in the northwest part of the photograph. The history of the park is very much a Pittsburgh institution. 151 acres of it was bequeathed by Henry Clay Frick when he died in 1919. Since then, the city has acquired additional acres. Acres have been donated to the present size that it is. It's considered one of the earliest legacy parks in the sense that it is a bequeathment. And we know that there are several gateways located within the park. Here is a park path. It's very naturalistic. These gateways were built in the 1930s. There's one right there. There's another one right there. And at the bottom, we have a playground. The Historic Review Commission voted to provide a positive recommendation to City Council based on 3 criteria. And the first one is planning and design. They felt it was significant because there are more designed landscapes juxtaposed with the more naturalistic landscapes. So it's sort of built on one on top of the other. The second criteria they felt was significant was criteria 7 under social history, because this is one of the first places where there were public-private partnerships enacted in 1919, 1910. There had always been philanthropy in Pittsburgh with Andrew Carnegie, but this was sort of the municipality was involved in it as well. So that's really significant. And then criterion 10, which basically means that everybody knows Frick Park. It's a visual landscape. It's a unique landscape. It's a landmark within the city. They also felt that because the park has a history of being sort of grown, that's okay. You know, it's not an asset fixed in time. It's one that grows and changes, and that's the part of the history of Frick Park, and so it's okay to maintain that. So for those reasons, the commission felt that it was a significant property. So that is what I have for you for Frick Park. Sure. Okay.
Great, and
Let's see.
then I believe we can just go right into the synagogue one. as
Okay.
well.
Let's see. Okay. B'nai Israel Synagogue is located 327 North Negley Avenue. And it actually falls within the Garfield neighborhood, but it really serves the East Liberty, the parish, the folks there. You can tell from the way that it looks in the slide. It's a drum-shaped synagogue and has an L-shaped community building adjacent to it. Let's see, here's another view of the synagogue. Here's a view of the mosaics in the front door. Here's another view of the addition on the side. And it should be noted that these plaques on the addition are one of the things that tie the 2 buildings together and make them more compatible. The Historic Review Commission voted to provide a positive recommendation to you all, basically under criterion 3, which is unique and exemplary architecture. I don't think any of us can argue that a Byzantine designed building is something very unique for this city. It has glittering mosaics, terracotta ornaments, which I showed you all, and contains terracotta reliefs which link it to the main building. The commission also felt that this building was significant under criteria 4, which is work on a notable architect or engineer. The building was designed by Henry Hornbostel. He's the gentleman that designed the CMU and Pitt campuses. He designed the Rodef Shalom Synagogue while he lived in New York. Then he moved to Pittsburgh and designed this building. There was also a gentleman involved in the design of this building. His name was Alexander Sharov, and he was raised as an Orthodox Jew. He designed the Tree of Life Synagogue. He also designed synagogues in Johnstown, Monessen, Katanning, and Washington County. So finally, criteria 7 is the last one that the commission felt was significant for this building. And this synagogue represents the development of East Liberty, the migration of the Jews from the Hill District to the suburbs, and then eventually the population that tapers off in the 1970s, right around the time that this was originally closed. And finally, they felt that this was significant under criteria 10. Obviously, I don't think any of us would argue that this is very definitely a visual landmark. even if you don't know what it is, you drive by and you say, wow, what is that? So that, that is what I have for you today.
Thank you.
Sure.
Very helpful for me to see the synagogue. I drive past that a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't realize the history there. So at this point, nothing further though? Okay, so at this point, we're going to move on to testimony from the register of speakers. Please give your name and address for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address council. And so our first speaker is Matthew Falcone. Online.
I'm virtual.
Hi, Matthew.
My address is 417 Lockhart Street. I'm here representing Preservation Pittsburgh, which is one of the partners that brought the nomination for Brick Park before you today. Really, I just would like to thank all of the different community groups and organizations that are kind of part and parcel to this nomination. Folks at Upstream Pittsburgh, Brick Park Friends, the Squirrel Hill Urban Coalition, Squirrel Hills Historical Society, the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy, of course, Councilperson Warwick, and the Point Breeze Neighborhood Organization. The park, and of course to all the members of the City Council who are considering the nomination. There's really no other place in our city like Brick Park. It's so incredibly special, and years ago, I think 10 or 11, when the city put forth its cultural heritage plan, it identified Frick Park as one of the places to list and provide for historic designation. And it really took all these different community groups working together to finally bring that to fruition. So it's one more check mark for the cultural heritage plan. And I also wanted to say regarding the former B'nai Israel, it's really wonderful to see this come into Pittsburgh's city register. It's only the second Jewish house of worship to be on our list of historic places. And it's a wonderful step towards diversifying that list. And all part to the good partners that help revamp the synagogue and turn it into its next chapter of life. So thank you for your consideration today, and I hope that you'll move forward with both nominations.
Thank you, Matthew. Our next registered speaker is Christina Sirkovich. Christina, I see that you're online. Welcome to start when you're ready.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
This way? It was a problem unmuting. Hi, I'm Christina Sirkovich. I live at 163 Whipple Street in Swiss Helm Park. I'm a regular Frick Park user and a founding member of Frick Park Friends. Giving Frick Park a local historic designation will add protections to the park and is in line with the city's cultural heritage plan. Frick Park has been and will continue to be a place where all members of the greater Pittsburgh community can come to interact with nature and with each other. The protections provided, the centering of the park's history will not only protect Frick Park now, but will also help preserve it for the future and may even inspire the next generation's Ellen Clay Frick or Rachel Carson. So on behalf of myself and the other members of Frick Park Friends, I'd like to express our strong support for the historic designation of Frick Park and ask that you vote in favor of its designation. Thank you.
Thank you. And having exhausted all registered speakers, are there any other speakers in the audience who would like to speak on these two bills? If so, please come to the microphone at this time. Okay. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Michael Polite, and I'll use my work address, 429 4th Avenue, downtown Pittsburgh. I'm the Senior VP for Beacon Communities. We're the current owner of the B'nai Israel property. And as your write-up says, we are supportive of this. We initiated the nomination, and it's part of the work that we've been doing on that campus for the last 4 or so years. Sort of concurrent with immediately following the redevelopment of what we think of as the school, which had previously been the Urban Leagues School. We've converted that into 45 apartments. 38 of those are affordable, LIHTC controlled, with 13 apartments having project-based Section 8. But this building, which has its own life, and we've been working with Bloomfield Garfield really from the very beginning to envision a way of really animating that property so that it can serve the community again in its next role. So very excited about it. Thank you for your support to date. A lot of work to be done, but this is a great asset, and we're looking forward to seeing it serve the public going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers?
Good afternoon. I'm Rick Swartz with the Bloomfield Garfield Corporation. Just want to talk a little bit about what we plan to do with the building if we're successful in restoring it. We already have plans to convert it into an arts, education, and events center that will be basically owned by a community entity. In the East End, we suffer with a lack of space that's available for larger types of events. We do have a number of venues in the East End, but none of them have this as their primary purpose. So we've been fortunate that Beacon Communities has been willing to assist us with a lot of the pre-development costs associated with repurposing the building. And we've now taken over that work from Beacon. We have a sales agreement with Beacon that hopefully will allow us to close on the purchase of the building by April 30th. And we're already very active in the fundraising phase. It's a grand structure. If you've ever been inside, the ceilings are 35 feet high. I belong to another synagogue in the city, Rodef Shalom, and it very much echoes that building in the volume of space in the main sanctuary. So it's really irreplaceable architecture. And if you look closely at the front of the sanctuary, Hornbostel created pillars that have his initials on each side of the bima, or the pulpit. So it's really fascinating to see that this building now hopefully can be saved. It would be, I think, a tragedy for the city if it fell to demolition, as so many other buildings in the East End have been raised over the last 30, 35 years. So we appreciate council's consideration of this nomination.
All right, thank you. Are there any other speakers in the audience?
Hello, Special Agent Sunshine here. People want to know the special part of my name. God chose me to shine a light on injustice. That's why I'm here. I was led here. I don't mean to go off the record and not talk about the two bills here. My mailing address is 538 Smithfield Street. That's where I'm currently supposed to be receiving mail. My communication is being blocked in every aspect. That's what I have to say on that. The reason God put special in front of my name is because I survived being poisoned, shot at, and every voodoo death ritual and black magic spell put on me. And I'm still here for a reason. Why? To shine God's light on and expose whoever did this to me. They're still out there, y'all. The other thing I want to talk about is the housing situation with the homeless. To me, the problem with housing is time. It doesn't take a year to find a place to live. Time is an illusion, but it's also money. It takes time to do everything. How long is the waiting list for housing? Section 8, how long is the waiting list? What are they doing with their time? Somebody needs to go and see. How many people are housed daily, weekly? These are questions I'd like to know, and probably a lot of other people too. How long does it take to get an inspection? How long does it take to give one? How long does it take to get a property appraised? What properties are available for rent? Are there any home ownership training programs available? Is housing able to get a painter's training program so a painter's team can be put together to go to some of these properties and paint them to get them ready to be moved in? There's the deception on the application, the applicants, like how long they've been living at their last location. There's deception there. People lie about that. The reason for their eviction, people lie about that. They know someone in housing. That's how they get their application approved. It goes right through because they know somebody. The portal to me doesn't work because if somebody's partied all night the night before, how will they be effective or productive the next day at work on the computer all day? Just questions I have. Whoever is still in my Gmail account, stealing and deleting.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers? Okay, I'm going to go to comments from members. Members have any comments? Councilperson?
No, just to quickly thank Matthew Falcone and the work of Squirrel Hill Urban Coalition and the Squirrel Hill Historical Society and others on getting the Frick Park designation. Yeah, it's a beautiful park. It needs to be protected, and it's a great asset. And I'm also looking forward to working with them on adding additional parcels that are currently with the UR right now, but hopefully come to the city as part of Frick Park. Anyway, thanks.
Councilman?
Yep, I would like to echo my esteemed colleagues' remarks about Frick Park. Part of Frick Park is in the 9th Council District, and I spend a lot of time in Frick Park, and it's truly a treasure and a great asset, not for the residents who live in the neighborhoods that are a part of Frick Park, but really for the entire region to take advantage of, whether for recreation, rest, reflection, and connecting with nature. So again, I echo my colleagues' remarks about thanking all those who've been involved with bringing this, designation to the table. And, I think it's something, again, not just for the communities that surround Frick Park, but really it's a true asset for the whole region.
And I guess, something I can say is just thank you to everyone who worked on this. I didn't have any part of this, and it's always great to see how much gets done in other districts. So with that, any more comments?
And also I did, want to comment on the B'nai Israel Synagogue as well. I want to thank the work of Beacon Communities as well as Bloomfield Garfield Corporation. About a month ago, I had an opportunity to be briefed directly by Mr. Schwartz about their plans, and I think not only celebrating the historic nature of the building, and the kind of the cultural treasure that it is, but also providing an important venue for the community, for folks to gather and continue to use that space as a way to congregate in a different way. Not in a religious sense, but whether there's weddings, whether there's other types of community gatherings that happen. So I think it's very important that this important building can be preserved and celebrated, and still be a place that folks in the Garfield, East Liberty, and other eastern communities can use to gather.
Great. Oh, sounds fantastic. All right. Well, okay, without anything further, this hearing is adjourned.